Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the podcast. Imagine this. It is late at night. You cannot sleep. Maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. Your room is quiet, but your mind is loud. You feel lonely and anxious. Or maybe something happened during the day and you cannot stop thinking about it. Maybe a relationship, maybe work, maybe just a feeling you cannot name. So you open ChatGPT and start typing everything you feel, and the AI answers immediately. Supportive words, understanding words. For a moment, you feel better because ChatGPT is always there. It never gets tired of you. It always has something to say. I understand that. I have been there too. And I am not here to tell you that AI is dangerous. There are 5 things that you should be very careful about sharing with ChatGPT. Not because the AI wants to harm you, but because your mind is more important than your convenience. And when you use the wrong tool for the wrong job, especially with your own emotions and your own thinking, there are real consequences. For example, many people who turn to AI whenever they feel anxious are slowly losing their ability to calm themselves on their own. They do not notice it happening. But month by month, the anxiety gets a little bigger. And the need for reassurance from outside gets a little stronger. That is just one example. And today, we are going to look at 5 of them. Before we start, I want to tell you something about Jack Ma. Not a famous quote, but a real moment from his life. Jack Ma applied for 30 different jobs and was rejected by every single one. He applied to Harvard 10 times. They said, no, 10 times. When KFC opened in his city, 24 out of 25 people who applied got hired. He was the one they turned away. And through all of those years of rejection, he had no app to make him feel better instantly. He had no AI to tell him your feelings are valid. And later, when he built Alibaba into one of the most valuable companies in the world, he says something that I think about often. He said that in the future, the most valuable people will not be the ones who simply understand technology. They will be the ones who still understand humans, including themselves. I think he knew that from experience because he had to understand himself first. So today, let's talk about those 5 things in slow, clear, and honest ways. Protecting your mind in the age of AI is not about using less technology. It is about using it wisely. Let's begin. The first thing you should be careful about telling ChatGPT is this: I feel so lonely tonight. Now, please understand me clearly. I am not saying ChatGPT is evil. I am not saying you should never use AI when you feel stressed or confused. Sometimes talking can help you calm down. Sometimes writing your thoughts can help you understand yourself better. But the danger begins when AI becomes your main emotional escape. When every painful feeling is immediately given to a machine that always responds with comfort, validation, and reassurance. Because emotional pain has a purpose. Loneliness has a purpose. Anxiety has something to teach you if you stay with it long enough to understand it. Most people know that Jack Ma was rejected many times, but I want you to really think about what that means emotionally. He applied to 30 jobs and was rejected again and again. Imagine going home after another rejection letter. Imagine watching other people move forward while you stay behind. He applied to Harvard 10 times, rejected 10 times. When KFC came to his city, 24 people got accepted. He was the only one rejected. Now imagine something different. Imagine every time he felt hurt, he immediately opened an app that said, everything is okay. Your feelings are valid. Don't worry. You are amazing just the way you are. But would it have made him stronger? I don't think so. Because real emotional strength is not built by immediately escaping difficult feelings. It is built by sitting with them long enough to understand them. This is something many people today are slowly losing. The ability to sit quietly with discomfort. When someone rejects you, there is something to learn. When you fail, there is something to reflect on. When you feel lonely, sometimes that feeling is showing you that something in your life needs attention. And if you remove every uncomfortable feeling too quickly, you may also remove the lesson hidden inside it. Imagine someone is trying to learn to speak English. Every time they feel embarrassed while speaking, they immediately stop and look for motivational videos to feel better again. They calm themselves emotionally, but they never stay in the uncomfortable practice long enough to improve. Over time, they become emotionally dependent on comfort instead of becoming stronger through repetition and experience. And this is the important difference. Healthy support helps you return to real life stronger. Emotional escape helps you avoid real life longer. That is why you must be careful. Use ChatGPT to organize your thoughts. Use it to practice English. Because one day, you may realize that the machine always understands your feelings, but you no longer understand yourself. And this is the difference that many people still do not understand. There is a very big difference between escaping a feeling and actually facing it. So the next time loneliness appears, you reach for ChatGPT faster. The next time anxiety comes, you open the app sooner. Slowly, without realizing it, your ability to sit quietly with difficult emotions becomes weaker. And this matters more than people think, because real life does not work like that. Real relationships are uncomfortable sometimes. Growth is uncomfortable. Learning is uncomfortable. Building confidence is uncomfortable. Even becoming fluent in English is uncomfortable. There are moments when you feel embarrassed speaking. Moments when you feel rejected. Moments when you feel confused about your future. These feelings are part of being human. But if your brain becomes trained to escape discomfort immediately, then even small emotional pain starts feeling unbearable. And I think this is already happening to many people. The moment they feel lonely, they need distraction. The moment they feel stress, they need noise. The moment they feel uncertainty, they need instant reassurance. But emotional strength is built in a different way. It is built slowly, quietly, by staying with the feeling long enough to understand it instead of running from it immediately. So what should you do instead? The next time you feel overwhelmed late at night, before opening ChatGPT, try something very simple. Take a notebook, not your phone, not a screen, and write 3 honest sentences. Not to sound smart, not to solve your whole life, just to tell the truth. I feel lonely because I miss connection. I feel anxious because I don't know what will happen. I feel hurt because someone ignored me. I feel tired and I don't even fully understand why. Something important happens when you do this slowly, by hand, for yourself. It begins with naming the feeling clearly for the first time. And no AI, no matter how intelligent or kind it sounds, can fully do that inner work for you. It can support you, it can guide you, but it cannot replace your relationship with yourself. And maybe that is one of the most important skills in modern life, learning how to sit with your emotions without needing to escape them immediately. The second thing you should be careful about telling ChatGPT is this. Write this for me, or what should I say, or how should I explain this? Now, sometimes this is completely fine. I do it too. Asking for help is not the problem. The problem begins when this becomes your automatic habit. When every difficult thought, every important message, Every emotional conversation immediately gets handed to AI before you even try to think for yourself. Because something very important happens when you struggle to express your own thoughts. Your mind grows. When you try to explain an idea in your own words, even if the explanation is messy, your thinking becomes clear. When you search for the right word and cannot find it immediately, your language becomes stronger. When you sit with your own thoughts, instead of escaping from them, you slowly discover what you actually believe. And this process is uncomfortable. That is why many people avoid it. It is much easier to type one sentence into ChatGPT and receive a perfect answer in 5 seconds. A perfect email, a perfect caption, a perfect message. But slowly, if you are not careful, you stop practicing something very important, your own voice. And this is happening more than people realize. Some students now use AI to write almost everything: essays, homework, messages, presentations, and the result often looks impressive. But then something strange happens in real life. When they need to explain an idea without AI, they struggle. When they need to speak naturally in a meeting or conversation, they freeze. Because they became dependent on polished answers instead of practicing real thinking. And I think this matters even more for English learners. Please listen carefully to this part. When you use AI to write perfect English for you every time, you may get a better result today, but you may become weaker tomorrow. Because language does not grow from perfect answers. Language grows from trying. It grows when you spend 3 minutes searching for one word. It grows when you write a sentence that sounds strange, then fix it. It grows when you feel frustrated, but continue anyway. That struggle is not failure. That struggle is training. Your brain is building connections between ideas and language. It is a learning pattern. It is noticing mistakes. It is about discovering what you still need to improve. But when AI does all of the difficult thinking for you, your brain loses that workout. And this is very similar to the gym. Imagine someone lifting weights for you every day. Your body would never become stronger because strength is built through resistance, through effort, through struggle. Your mind works the same way. And I think this is one of the biggest challenges of the AI age. Not that AI will become smarter than humans, but humans may slowly stop training their own minds. A strong mind is not built by receiving answers all day. It is built by thinking, questioning, struggling, organizing ideas, making mistakes, and learning from them. That is one reason people like Jack Ma became successful. Not because they always had the best information. Many people had the same information. What made the difference was how they thought. They developed their own way of seeing problems, their own judgment, their own voice, and that independent thinking became more valuable than information itself. So use AI carefully. Use it to learn faster. Use it to improve your English. Use it to check your mistakes. Ask questions. Challenge ideas, practice conversations, but do not slowly hand over your entire thinking process. Because in a world where more and more people let AI speak for them, think for them, and decide for them, the people who can still think clearly with their own mind will become extremely rare. The third thing you should be careful about asking ChatGPT is this: what should I do with my life? Or should I quit my job? Or is this the right path for me? In other words, asking AI to remove uncertainty from your biggest life decisions. And honestly, I understand why people do this. Uncertainty is exhausting. Sometimes you feel stuck between two choices. Sometimes you are afraid of making the wrong decision. Sometimes you just want someone or something to tell you clearly what to do so you can stop overthinking. And AI feels very comforting in those moments. It sounds calm, logical, confidence. It gives organized answers when your own mind feels messy. But I want you to think carefully about something. Real confidence is not built by always having the correct answer. Real confidence is built by learning that you can survive uncertainty, that you can make a decision without knowing everything, that you can move forward even while feeling afraid, that you can handle mistakes, confusion, and unexpected problems. That is where deep confidence actually comes from. Think about your own life for a moment. Maybe the first time you spoke English with someone in real life, your hands felt nervous, your heart beat faster. You were not sure if you could do it. But then the conversation happened. Maybe not perfectly, maybe awkwardly, but you survived it. And after that moment, something changed inside you. Not because someone gave you confidence, because you experienced yourself handling uncertainty. That is how confidence grows, not from certainty, from experience. Imagine the pressure of that. No guarantee, no clear roadmap, no certainty that it would work. And yet he continued, not because he knew the future, because he accepted uncertainty as part of the process. And honestly, if he had asked AI, should I start this company? The answer probably would have been very careful and safe. Consider the risks. Study the market. Be cautious. Reasonable advice. But safe advice rarely creates extraordinary things, because information alone is not enough. At some point, every person must decide, am I willing to move forward without certainty? That is the real test. So yes, use AI to gather information. Use it to organize ideas. Use it to explore possibilities. But after that, close the screen for a moment. Sit quietly and ask yourself, what do I actually believe is right? Because your real life is not built inside a chat window. It is built through decisions, through action, through uncertainty, through experience. And the beautiful thing is this: every time you survive uncertainty, you become a little stronger. Not because life becomes easier, because you slowly realize, I can handle more than I thought. The fourth thing you should be careful about telling ChatGPT is this: my friend did this to me. Was I right to be angry? Or my partner said this. What should I think? Or any situation where you tell only your side of a human conflict and ask AI to decide who is right. I understand why people do this. When someone hurts you, you want comfort. You want someone to say, yes, you are right. Yes, they treated you badly. Yes, your feelings make sense. And honestly, ChatGPT will often do exactly that. It will support your feelings. It will explain your perspective clearly. It will build a logical answer that makes your side sound reasonable. And for a moment, that feels really good. But there's a problem. ChatGPT only knows your version of the story. It cannot see the other person's face. It cannot hear their voice. It does not know their stress, their fears, their past, or what happened before the conversation started. It only sees the words you typed. So sometimes what feels like wisdom is actually just reflection, like looking into a mirror and hearing your own thoughts repeated back to you in a more organized way. And this becomes dangerous when it slowly replaces a very important human skill, the ability to see another person's perspective. This is difficult for all of us, especially when we are hurt. When people feel emotional, the brain naturally becomes narrower. We focus on our own pain, our own frustration, our own story. That is normal. But emotionally mature people do something difficult. Even while feeling hurt, they still ask, what might the other person be feeling right now? That question changes everything. Maybe your friend did not reply to your message and you immediately thought, they don't care about me anymore. But maybe they were overwhelmed. Maybe something happened in their family. Maybe they were anxious too. Or maybe your partner sounded cold during a conversation. You thought, they don't respect me. But maybe they were exhausted. Maybe they had stress at work all day and didn't know how to communicate it well. This does not mean the other person is always right. And it does not mean your feelings are wrong. It simply means real life is more complicated than one emotional moment. And this is something AI cannot fully understand, because human relationships are not just logic. They are history, emotion, timing, misunderstanding, stress, personality, and silence between words. That is why this skill matters so much. Psychologists sometimes call this cognitive flexibility. But in simple language, it means the ability to hold your feelings and still stay open to another perspective. And like every skill, it becomes stronger when you practice it, or weaker when you avoid it. If every conflict becomes, I tell AI my side and AI tells me I'm right, then slowly, without noticing, you stop practicing empathy. You stop practicing patience. You stop practicing difficult human understanding. And over time, relationships become harder. Because ChatGPT can comfort you, but it cannot repair your relationship. Only real communication can do that. Only honesty can do that. Only listening can do that. And yes, those things are uncomfortable. Sometimes you must hear things you do not want to hear. Sometimes you realize you were partly wrong. Sometimes both people are hurt at the same time. But that discomfort is part of being human. So next time you feel the urge to immediately type your conflict into ChatGPT, try something different first. Sit quietly for 5 minutes. Then write down 2 things. First, what am I feeling right now and why? Second, what might the other person be feeling that I still don't fully understand? Not from your point of view, from theirs. That small exercise forces your brain to slow down, to reflect, to think, instead of react. And if you still need advice after that, talk to a real person who knows both of you. Someone who understands the full situation, not just one emotional moment. Because technology can help you organize your thoughts, but real understanding still begins between human beings. The 5th thing you should be careful about telling ChatGPT is this. Am I overthinking? Is it normal to feel this worried? Tell me I'm going to be okay. In other words, using AI as the voice that calms you down every single time anxiety appears. This one is very subtle, and honestly, it may be the most important thing on this entire list. Because it feels harmless. You feel stressed. You ask ChatGPT for reassurance. You feel better for a few minutes. What could be wrong with that? But if every uncomfortable feeling is immediately followed by reassurance from AI, your brain never learns that lesson. The anxiety comes. You escape it immediately. The relief feels good. Then the anxiety returns later, often even stronger. And over time, many people become less tolerant of uncertainty. Smaller problems create bigger emotional reactions. They need reassurance more often. The calm feeling lasts less time. This is how emotional dependence slowly begins. And this is also why real therapy is different from instant reassurance. A good therapist does not simply say, everything is fine. Every single time you feel anxious, they help you stay with the discomfort a little longer. They might ask, what happens if you don't check right now? What do you notice if you just breathe and wait for a moment? Because the real goal is not to remove all anxiety from your life. The real goal is to help you become stronger than the anxiety. And that takes practice. So what can you do instead? The next time you feel the urge to type, "Is this normal?" into ChatGPT, pause for a moment first. Don't rush immediately toward reassurance. Don't instantly escape the feeling. Just stop. Take 3 slow breaths. Put your hand on your chest if it helps you feel grounded. And then try something very small, but very powerful. Stay with the feeling for 2 minutes before asking anyone or anything to calm you down. Not forever. You are not trying to suffer. You are not trying to be strong by ignoring your emotions. Just 2 quiet minutes where you allow yourself to feel uncomfortable without immediately needing relief. Because that small moment matters more than people realize. Most people never stay with discomfort long enough to discover something important. Emotions rise, but they also fall. Anxiety feels permanent in the moment, but it moves like a wave. It grows, it peaks, and slowly, if you do not panic and feed it, it begins to calm down by itself. But when you immediately run for reassurance every single time, your brain never learns that lesson. It never gets the chance to say, "Wait, maybe I actually can survive this feeling." And that realization changes people. At first, maybe you can only handle 2 minutes, then maybe 5, then maybe 10. And slowly, something inside you becomes steadier. The anxiety may still come. Life will always have uncertainty. There will still be nights where your mind feels noisy. There will still be moments where you feel afraid, overwhelmed, or emotionally tired. But the difference is this: you stop feeling completely powerless inside those moments. You begin to trust yourself a little more. You begin to realize, I can feel anxiety without immediately collapsing. I can feel uncertainty without needing instant comfort every time. And that is real emotional strength. Not pretending everything is fine. Not ever feeling anxious again. Real healing is quieter than that. Healing is the slow process of becoming able to stay with yourself even during uncomfortable emotions, without abandoning yourself, distracting yourself, or desperately escaping every difficult feeling the moment it appears. And honestly, that ability may become one of the most important skills in the future. Because we are entering a world where instant comfort is everywhere. But human growth has never been instant. Some parts of becoming stronger still require silence, still require patience. You still require sitting with yourself long enough to truly understand what is happening inside you. And no machine can do that part for you. So now, let's bring all 5 things together. Not as a list of warnings, not to make you afraid of AI, but to help you see something important more clearly. AI is one of the most powerful tools we have ever created. It can save you time. It can help you learn faster. It can help you write, think, organize, and solve problems more efficiently. If you use it wisely, it can be an amazing tool. And I want you to use it. Use it for learning. Use it for work. Use it for ideas. Use it to practice English. Use it to understand something difficult. But do not forget this. Your emotional life is not a task to finish. Your relationships are not problems to optimize. Your deepest questions are not just prompts waiting for answers. Because there are some things in life that still need real human experience. AI can explain loneliness, but it has never felt lonely. AI can describe fear, but it has never had a tight chest at 2 in the morning. AI can write about grief, love, regret, and doubt, but it has never lived through them. And that matters. Your mind and your heart do not grow only through information. They grow through real life. That is why we must be careful. The danger is not that AI is evil. The danger is that AI is easy. It is always available. It gives answers quickly. It can comfort you instantly. And because of that, you may slowly stop doing the harder human things. You may stop sitting with your feelings. You may stop thinking deeply for yourself. You may stop having uncomfortable conversations. You may stop asking real people for real support. And if that happens, you may become more efficient, but less connected to yourself. Strength is not built in comfort. It is built through difficulty, rejection, uncertainty, and real experience. You do not become strong by escaping every hard feeling. You become strong by facing life with patience, honesty, and courage. So here is the simple rule. Use AI for your learning. Use AI for your productivity. Use AI for clear thinking. But keep your humanity human. When it comes to your emotions, pause before you ask AI to calm you down. When it comes to your relationships, try to understand the real person, not just your side of the story. When it comes to big decisions, do not let AI choose your life for you. When it comes to who you are, do not outsource your self-understanding to a machine. Because the goal is not only to become faster, the goal is to become wiser, more honest, more emotionally strong, more able to live a real human life that no AI can live for you. Before I let you go, I want to leave you with one question. Do not answer it quickly. Do not type it into ChatGPT right away. Just sit with it for a few minutes. Are you using technology as a tool that supports your life? Or is technology slowly changing the way you think, feel, decide, and understand yourself without you fully noticing? Think about that honestly. There is no perfect answer, only an honest one. Take care of yourself, my friend. I'll see you in the next episode.